in India, you should come to Amritsar and see the Golden Temple.
Hi, we're the Flying Finneys, a couple from Australia who are on a quest to spend our kids' inheritance by travelling to 60 countries before we turn 60.
India is country one for us, and in this video we're in Amritsar and we visit what we believe is the most beautiful temple we've seen so far, and we go to the biggest and best party in India.
So it was an early morning start for the Flying Finneys as we headed off to the Delhi railway station for a 6.5 hour journey to Amritsar. It was our first experience with India Rail. So we ordered food ahead of time. It was waiting for us at our seat when we got on the train, but this was unnecessary because, as it turned out, our seats were fully catered. 6 hours later, we arrived in Amritsar, ready to go.
I thought this city was going to be a bit less crazy than New Delhi, but I think I was wrong. So we've just arrived in Amritsar. And we're sitting in the tuk-tuk. We're stuck. We're not quite sure why we're stuck, but initially it was because of these bricks here that you see next to Graham. And there's been people lifting little motorcycles, and we've got to change a driver. I know he's
just transiting.
Do you think we should just climb over the top with our bags from one vehicle to another?
The roads here were really narrow and congested, and we got held up quite a bit, but we finally got moving.
So we've just arrived in Amritsar. It was a lovely train trip out here from Delhi. That was a pleasant surprise. I was a little apprehensive about the Indian train system, but we had a lovely journey. This hotel, when we walked into the room, the room is dreadful. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, but it is budget and we are so getting what we paid for. But then we remembered that we booked it because it had this fantastic view, which hopefully you can see behind me. So yeah, we're just reminding ourselves, standing up here on the rooftop terrace, reminding us why we booked this place. Behind me is the Golden Temple, which is basically what everybody comes here to see. It's a beautiful structure and we're looking forward to exploring it more.
Visiting the Golden Temple was one of the main reasons we wanted to come to Amritsar. It is the preeminent holy site for the Sikh religion, the Sikh people, and it's a huge area of pilgrimage as we saw over the next 2 days. The temple and its grounds are simply spectacular, both during the day and then later at night as the lights turned up, because this is essentially a 24-hour area of worship.
Almost 5 o'clock. We've just lined up to go inside that magnificent Golden Temple, and we've been told it's like a 2.5 hour wait to get inside. Like it'll take 2.5 hours. So let's see. We'll keep you posted. So it only took us an hour to get into the temple inside, and I don't even know how to describe it. We couldn't take any photos in there, which is a shame because it was stunning. I've never seen anything like it. It was absolutely magnificent. And now we're just sitting outside at the end of the day and enjoying the view of the temple by night before we get back to our hotel. How lucky are we? So it's important for everyone to have their head covered when you go into the Golden Temple, both men and women. So they provide these little bandana, scarf type things to put on as you enter.
Not sure that orange is my colour, but
Definitely is.
how does that look?
Looking gorgeous and appropriate, most important.
Most of it.
So once your hair is all covered, you then enter the temple area. You've got to walk through this lovely little pool to wash your feet before you go in. The Sikh community has this beautiful tradition of always providing free meals for anybody. We're going to head into something called Wagah Hall, which is part of this Golden Temple area where they provide free meals. Apparently it's massive. I'm really looking forward to seeing it.
The provision of langar at the Golden Temple is simply amazing, and I was awestruck. 50,000 meals per day, rising to 100,000 meals per day during holy festivals. And all of this made possible by an army of volunteers.
We enjoyed a simple, generous and delicious meal that came through numerous times to try and top up our plates. As you can imagine, with serving between 50,000 and 100,000 meals per day, it's a very efficient operation. Even the service of water is automated. This fantastic gadget is used to serve water to the pilgrims along the line, and then afterwards it's used to clean the floors.
Once again, we were in awe at the logistics taking place in front of our eyes, with each of these plates being washed 5 times before it gets reused. Having finished langar, pilgrims then wash their feet on the way out of the dining hall as they move back towards the Golden Temple. Spending 2 days in and around the Golden Temple was simply amazing. We got to see so much. Beyond the beauty of the temple itself, we saw a vibrant community, one that enjoys being in and around their place of worship. We're on our way to an area that I've been really looking forward to. It's on the Pakistani border. It's called Wagah, or Atari, and it's famous for the border closing ceremony that occurs every day. The ceremony takes place between both the Indian Army and the Pakistani Army, and as you can imagine, there's both camaraderie built up because they are on the border, as well as, if you like, a little bit of mutual distrust given the history between the two countries. And it's almost showing up each of the other's military forces, but strongly attended by people from both sides, India and Pakistani, and so I think we're in for a real show.
I think we have to pick side.
I pick your side.
Oh, very appropriate. Correct answer. Interesting that we're on the Indian side, but we can see the Pakistani flag.
Interesting or well positioned?
It does feel a little bit like we're going to Disneyland, doesn't it?
It's more like going to a baseball game.
We were super lucky. For some reason, we got thrown into the VIP line and we got marshalled through the middle of the stadium down to what I think were the best seats in the house.
There's a lot of patriotic nationalism going on here, and they are having a great time. I'm just not seeing it reciprocated on the other side of the border at this stage. Maybe they're late starters. party atmosphere.
I can't get water in the mosh pit down there.
So with the crowd at fever pitch, it was time to start into the actual flag lowering ceremony. And after all of the drill and pageantry came the solemn part of the evening, the lowering of the flags and the closing of the border.
After a few photos with the guard, it was time to exit the stadium with the rest of Team India. And it was also time to reflect on what we had just experienced.
Well, Trace, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. That was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen.
It is.
Also one of the strangest things I've ever seen.
I would call it one of the most surreal things. And I say that from a military perspective as well. The drill was unbelievable, very, very well rehearsed. But the competition between the two sides and the nationalism, the patriotism was just unbelievable. So great thing to be a part of.
I do think that we were on the winning side. I think the Indians were high-stepping more than the Pakistanis.
Well, certainly from the crowd's perspective, India won hands down. The person that stole the show, though, was the MC.
Yeah,
And he had the crowd
they were
just going off.
With the rest of Team India crammed into tuk-tuks and trucks, we headed back to Amritsar for some beer and dinner.
So we're finishing up our time in Amritsar at our local cheap restaurant. We've just had another magnificent meal here. It's a bit like a sports bar, but I don't know if I can call it a restaurant, but we're almost locals now. Graham's getting kissed by people this evening as well. So if you've made it this far, you must have liked the video. So please hit the like button, leave us a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Time to fly.